How are people affording life right now?
Like I'm living paycheck to paycheck.
I know for a fact I'm not the only one, but as soon as my check come, I pay all my bills first so I can stay with my $26 in peace.
I make $150,000 a year as a single income earner. I live paycheck to paycheck. I have no retirement. I have no savings. And it sucks.
I make plans with my check before I even get my check, and that's my problem. I need to learn how to fucking save and stop doing
When people say they're living paycheck to paycheck, we're living 3 paychecks ahead to 3 paychecks ahead at this point, because the paycheck I'm about to get is gone and then some.
So I earn over £100,000 a year with a total combined household income of 140. Yet I'm still too poor to shop in places like Waitrose and Marks and Spencer's. I still find myself scrapping around for pennies at the end of the month and living paycheck to paycheck as a household.
I am 48 years old and I am broke. When I say broke, I mean $0 broke, no money. And I am burnt out to the core, and I'm done living like this. I have worked in group homes and nonprofits for over 25 years now. I've poured my heart into my job, gave it everything I got, but I'm burnt out. I don't have any more to give.
I saw that you guys are living from paycheck to paycheck. Well, congratulations, because my paycheck doesn't make it to my other paycheck. I'm currently living from paycheck to borrows, 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 to paycheck. So, I promise you, you're doing better than somebody out there. Okay, have a good day.
Almost 40 years old and still living paycheck to paycheck. If you told me that when I was in my 20s, I'd be like, that's definitely not going to happen. I will do everything in my power to make sure that that doesn't happen. Well, I'm here and I've had 2, sometimes even 3 jobs. And now being a mom of 2, I'm like, something has to change.
This cannot be the same check y'all are raising y'all family with. This is impossible. I'm by myself, struggling to pay for stuff. There's no way y'all got a wife and kids, or husband, and y'all are making it with this check. There's no way. Give me some financial advice or something, because there's absolutely no way. At the end of the week, I'm at least left with like 2 cents or something, like $100. That's nothing.
Nothing makes me more uncomfortable when it's 2 days after payday and I still have some money left over in my account.
I just need somebody else to tell me that they're living paycheck to paycheck and putting themselves into credit card debt out of necessity, not because of fun. I am 28 years old. I work a decent paying job. I love my job. I make good income. We have no kids, me and my fiance, and we're still barely scraping by. Our bills are paid, but we can't save any money. We can't go on vacation. I mean, we do little things here and there, but realistically, we don't really do anything. And we still live paycheck to paycheck, okay? I don't understand how people with kids are doing this. Props to y'all. I mean, seriously, the utmost respect, because I feel like I'm drowning and I only have cats. Any money that we're able to save ends up getting spent on the car, or the cat has to go to the vet, or one of us has a medical emergency. Like, it's just gone. It's gone. I don't understand. We don't live beyond our means. Are we all just collectively putting ourselves into debt because I don't know what else to do?
I don't know if it's just me, but do anybody else even see their money anymore? Do anybody else even see the money that they make anymore? Because I know for me, the moment that I get the money, it goes right to bills. You don't even see the money. It's transferred. All we do now is have electronic transfers, but we never get the money. It's the craziest thing that we live in this freaking world and we can't even see the money we work for anymore, because the moment that it comes into your account, if you like me, it's heading right back out on a bunch of damn bills. How is anybody supposed to be happy in this world or in this life when you're constantly bombarded with bills, when you ain't even got enough to even pay the bills? Do anybody even see their money anymore? Let me know, do you see your money? Because I don't see mine. I look at my bank account and I see certain numbers that says there's a certain amount that I have, and then immediately the bill collectors come and they take even that away. I don't even see the money anymore. Between the tariffs, the gas prices, the food prices, and just life be lifing, how is y'all making it? Because for me, I don't even see my money no more. I'm thankful that I'm able to pay what I'm paying, but man, it's hard. It's hard. And I know it's not just me. I see a million videos of people saying, how the F are we supposed to survive? Y'all voted for him. I'm just going to say, y'all voted for him. I didn't. Where's the money at?
Am I the only one who feels like I will never stop living paycheck to paycheck? The economy we live in is trash. The jobs we work for are trash. They pay you the bare minimum, but want you to show up and give your 110%. How does that work? These houses, they want you to pay $1,000+ for rent, and they're 1980 houses. You gotta have a deposit, last month's rent, first month's rent. Like, why do I need to pay last month's rent? I don't understand that. Car insurance, car payments, they're rip-offs. Why am I paying $300 for car insurance? I don't understand. Health insurance, skyrocket. Food, skyrocket. Like, I just don't understand how I will ever be able to afford to wake up and go hop on a plane and enjoy my best life. I just don't understand. By the time my kids get to adulthood, they're gonna have to pay to open the door to walk out of their own house. I really, really, really rather be a cockroach crawling on the ground for free than have to live this life every day. Like, I can't be the only one who feels this way. Like, I need to know, y'all that get to wake up and take trips and go across country and do $100 shopping sprees at Target every single day, what are you doing? What's the secret to life? What is the secret recipe that you have that we don't have? Let us know.
Real quick, I want to explain why it's so hard to get out of this situation based on what I'm going through. Last week, I worked almost 46 hours and got paid only $444.44, and I cashed it at Walmart for $4. So somebody tell me what 4 means in the comments, because maybe 4 means something good to me. But this is what I pay, $425 a week for where I'm staying at right now. For an efficiency, $425 a week. So that means after I cashed my check, I pretty much had like $15 left for the whole week. This is how much I paid the entire time I've been here, and it's embarrassing.
You know what I find absolutely crazy? I went to nursing school to become a nurse, to become financially free, and provide stability for me and stability for a future family if I was to have a child. I thought that, you know what, like, let me get into an actual career. Healthcare, phenomenal. I'll always have a job. They pay well, until I actually got into nursing. Starting off as a new grad, I made $33.93 as my base pay. I was a mid shifter, so I got the same shift differential that a night shift nurse would get, and I got an additional $4. During that time, I was looking for an apartment, and all apartments were like $1,500 and up. I was only making like roughly $1,700 to $1,800 every 2 weeks. I was still going to be living paycheck to paycheck as a nurse. Even though, like, I chose a career, even though I went to school, I got the degree, I still found myself in the same rat race of having to pay bills, now having to pay student loans, having to afford living, and I'm still living paycheck to paycheck.
Here's how I live paycheck to paycheck in New York City as a full-time college student and a full-time worker. Since I make like $800 every 2 weeks, my rent is $600 a month, so I try to save by always walking to work, never paying for the $2.90 fare. I always walk to work and walk back home from work, no matter how late. But since today I work the whole day, most of the time I usually just eat at work because it's free and I don't really have to spend money. But on other days when I like spend on food, I try to buy a big portion so I have leftovers for other days. So basically, I went to Costco, I think, a few days ago. So I bought the pie. It's only $10.99, I think, or 10 something. So I buy these pepperoni pizzas and just freeze them. And when I'm really hungry, I just grab one and eat. If I don't need to be spending money on certain places, then I try not to. Because I try to save money for rent. And then for college also. And for food. Since my parents don't financially support me in any type of way, I just have to save money on my own. But honestly, I'm about to get kicked out soon because these rent prices are so high for no reason. But that's it. Good night.
Now I know I am not the only one whose buffer money, like after you had budgeted all of your bills and expenses, that little money that you would have just hanging around in your bill account, it's starting to disappear. Have y'all noticed that? Like when you go to the grocery store, the normal groceries that you would get for you and your, like, okay, this is the number that I need. That shit is no longer the number. And then the money that you would budget for your gasoline, for your car, that's no longer the number. The amount that you would kind of like stay under for your light bill, that's no longer the number. Like, your buffer money is no longer existing.
My biweekly paycheck is $2,712.81. I got paid on Friday, and after budgeting, I'm left with $16.31. Budget my paycheck with me as a landlord who also works a 9 to 5, paying off $23,000 of debt. For my paycheck, I put aside $1,362 for my mortgage payment, paid $600 for childcare for my 2-year-old and 4-year-old, and $2.99 for iCloud storage. $150.49 went to one of the credit card payments that I'll be making this month. On my budget spreadsheet, I keep track of all of my daily expenses, which totals up all of my expenses spent so far. $313.51 spent on groceries for the week, $187.51 on the deposit for my son's birthday party and random little expenses, $50 for my husband's haircut, and $30 for a birthday gift. Now I have $16.31 until my next paycheck, but without any worries because everything that needs to be paid is paid.
I make $150,000 a year as a single income earner. I live paycheck to paycheck. I have no retirement. I have no savings. And it sucks. And I work 24/7. Farm Girl Nerd here has a great quote though. She says, "You must gain control over your money or the lack of it will forever control you." And I am living proof of this statement. I'm in massive debt. And it was not overnight. It happened over an 11-year span. When I tell you that I live paycheck to paycheck, it is not an exaggeration. This is why budgeting is so important. The more and more I realize that I am human and I have made mistakes, but I am taking control of those actions. And one day I will control my money. Right now I don't. Every single penny goes to minimum payments and it sucks. And that doesn't even include rent and mortgage. I have the day off work today and I'm outside hustling to pay for life.
It's no way around not living check to check. We all live in check to check at this fucking point. Because you want to live in a good neighborhood, right? You don't want to live in the hood. Bills and shit, all this shit is not doing nothing but going up. The average fucking apartment, 1 bedroom is like $1,600. Especially if you living on your own, that's what make it twice as harder. That's why people always try to go out for like a second source of income, really just to have some free fucking money. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of fucked up because it's like, okay, let's say you work 2 jobs. If you work 2 jobs, you don't have no fucking time to yourself, because when you away from the first job that you at, you thinking about going to the damn second job, or you got to get ready to go to that second job. Like, I swear, like the economy nowadays is like, it's to the point where it's meant for us to struggle. Like, a motherfucker making $25 an hour back in motherfucking 2014, that's goddamn $50 an hour. Now $25 an hour is like $16 an hour. Like, what the fuck? You already got to worry about rent. And then you got to worry about bills outside of your house. Phone bill, car note, and you know it's a law to have insurance. And that ain't even half of the bills that majority of us got. That's why it be so hard to, you know, save money and fucking just maintain a good living at least. I get it, you gotta work without looking at the clock, but god damn.
I am so sick of people talking about the economy and how people need to just stop buying coffee or wait till they can afford kids to have them. It's tough out here for everyone. I'm a controls engineer. I have a good job. I've been doing this for a minute. You can Google a controls engineer salary. I should be able to live very comfortably as a single man with 3 kids. I should have no financial struggles. I should be able to afford a home. I should be able to afford a brand new car. And all of this while taking trips and having vacations. And I live in a trailer. I drive a fairly new car, yes. But I have to budget. Like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I cannot get ahead. I do not buy expensive clothes. I do not take expensive trips. I do not put stuff on credit card. I'm not there yet. But for what I make, I should live very comfortably, and I don't presently. I thought at one time if I made as much as I make now, I would be rich and have no problems. And that's probably true 8 years ago. But over the past 5 years, I have seen my standard of living substantially drop. I am living a lower middle class lifestyle. And I make good money. I don't drink my coffee out. I make it at home every day. I carry my lunch. I take my kids to fast food maybe once a week, $30-40. I have a Planet Fitness membership. I shop at discount clothes. I thrift for almost everything. So telling people to just stop buying coffee and they could afford a home or just to wait a little bit till they can afford kids is just gaslighting people. We're being robbed by our government, through the hands of corporations, by our government's control. And hearing people and reading comments that people are just don't get it. They really don't. I feel bad for my kids. I feel bad for people starting out today. Gen X didn't have it very easy. The millennials didn't have it very easy. And I don't know what Gen Z is going to do. We're in a bad situation in this country financially. We're $38 trillion in debt, and they're about to turn the printers on again, which is going to cause even more inflation and even more problems. So I don't have easy answers, but telling people to stop buying coffee and wasting money, like that's we're past that. We're way past that. It's time to do something. I don't know what, but something's got to give.
People be having the same job as me, you heard? Kids, apartment, car note. I'm like, yo, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Am I bugging? Am I spending that much fucking money that I can't even see? Somebody can support a whole 2-3 lives with the same check?
How much money do you need to be making in the UK right now to live comfortably?
We live in Ireland.
Okay.
So we're going to speak in euro.
Okay.
You want to be coming out €800 a week. A week.
Okay.
To live comfortably, yeah.
Okay, how come €800?
Because I'm on about 6 and it's not that comfortable yet.
No, we're living paycheck to paycheck.
Nothing makes me more uncomfortable when it's 2 days after payday and I still have some money left over in my account.
It's currently June 14th and I don't get paid until June 25th. I have $691 in my bank account and over $1,000 of bills due coming soon. Not to mention when I get paid June 25th, I will have rent due, but it will already be negative. I know I'm not the only one that goes through stuff like this all the time, but let's go ahead and calculate what I could pay off this upcoming week while still having money for food. I think what I can do with $691 is pay a phone bill for, it's $80, so we're gonna subtract 80. I have a speedy cash loan, you know, those cash advance loans that we take out, due this following Monday. It's $300. If I do that, that leaves me with a total of $311. So as of right now, I think that's all I'm gonna worry about paying right now. Wait. I'm gonna send $100 to my credit cards. So actually, I will have $211, and I think that's enough for food for next week, and then I'll survive and figure out the rest later. Bye.
So I earn over £100,000 a year with a total combined household income of 140. Yet I'm still too poor to shop in places like Waitrose and Marks and Spencer's. I still find myself scrapping around for pennies at the end of the month and living paycheck to paycheck as a household. I find myself constantly swapping energy suppliers to find the cheapest one. Not being able to afford to go on holidays where the hotels are 5-star, you're looking at the kind of 3-star accommodation. Having that much money doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to live a financially free and financially stable life. I mean, sure, we own our own house and we don't live in a council house, which is a blessing. However, earning that much money is just offsetting money to the poor. You pay more in tax, that goes to the welfare schemes, when those people themselves could probably get better jobs. If I wasn't taxed as much as I'm taxed, possibly we could afford to live a better lifestyle, eat healthier foods like organic meats, etc. We can't do that. And that's what's wrong with this society.
So expensive not to be rich, and I was raised very financially privileged. My mom had a good job, my dad stayed home and raised the kids, they didn't have to pay for childcare, like all of that sort of thing. But I am not as financially secure as my parents were, and so I'm living paycheck to paycheck. My payday is today, so of course I'm going through my bank account, making sure that like everything's ready for me to transfer money where it needs to go and pay the bills that I have. And I saw that there was an incorrect charge on my account, which led to an overdraft fee. And so when you don't have the money for simple mistakes like that to be happening, you're just in this endless loop of wasting your time and wasting money because you're paying for things that you didn't necessarily make a mistake on. And it just is crazy to me that rich people don't have to deal with this because they don't have to worry about if they have a minimum balance in their checking account. They don't have to worry about an overdraft fee because that's never going to happen. If a mistake happens, they'll get compensated, they'll get the refund, no sweat off their back. Maybe there is some time wasted having to like process and request a refund to be made. But when you're so tight with your time and tight with your money, anything that goes off of the plan, any deviation from it, throws a wrench in the whole entire system and ecosystem that you've created for yourself or have to deal with for yourself.
I'm 30 years old. I thought I'd have a decent salary, and I feel like I'm still in ways living like a student, or have this mentality of a student still. Because the reason I'm making this video is because I had a thought like, oh, maybe I'll have a little tipple, a little pre-drink. Obviously not the cheap vodka that you might get when you're a student because you really are broke. And before going out and having a fancy cocktail. And it's like, I thought at 30, I'd be on a decent salary, I'd just be able to enjoy my life, wouldn't have to think about a £15 cocktail affecting my budget. But it does because I don't make enough. And it's just like really, really frustrating. And I know that some ways people are literally struggling to pay for nappies, to pay for food, to pay for heating, and me comparing it to a cocktail isn't probably helpful, but I'm just saying I want to enjoy something nice in my life and I'm overthinking it. Or the things that feel like treats, you have to really like deep that it has to fit into my budget. A cocktail, a mocktail even. If it's £15 mocktail, you're paying for juice. But it's the experience that we want. We just want to go out with our friends and have a nice time and de-stress from work and everything that's going on in this world. I'm here thinking like a student, like, oh, let me put... I know everyone's feeling the pinch, I really do. And even the people that are making 6 figures, and they can sound out of touch sometimes, don't get me wrong, I know people in my life that are making good money, and they're like, the cost of my spa has gone up, and our food shop costs us more now, and they're shopping at Waitrose or Ocado or someone that is, you know, quite pricey. But it's affecting everyone. I'm just making this video because it really just hit me like, wow, I sound like a student in that moment. I really sounded like I have no money. But then when I put it into perspective, because I'm also trying to save, which takes a big chunk of your salary, obviously, so you feel like you have less money. But I'm starting again, I'm rebuilding, and it costs you mentally, physically, and financially. I am struggling. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I should be on more money. I had to take a pay cut to get a bloody job, and now I make these videos and I'm just like, yeah, the realization of why am I stressing about a £15 cocktail, a £15 pizza? Before you know it, that's 30 quid gone. And it's like, for me, that's nearly half a day's work.
Working 2 shifts a week was all fun and games until that paycheck hit. I opened that banking app thinking I'm gonna see something life-changing, but all that trolling really caught up to me. Like, you're happy working 2 shifts a week until you see that paycheck. Like, with that type of paycheck, you're better off at home sleeping until 3 p.m.
When are we gonna get back to the days when somebody can support themselves and live comfortably with just one income? I have a full-time job that years ago I could have raised a family on what I make. And it's like now I have to do side hustles, to supplement my income because it's gotten so fucking expensive to live.
It's crazy you have to work like 75% of your life, like donate, give up 75% of your time pretty much just to literally survive, just to live. Not to live comfortably, not to live well, just to live.
And you're having people struggling over money, struggling over food, struggling over finding a place to live. What do you think you're going to expect from America? You're going to get more violence. You're going to get more people attacking other people. You're going to get more of the looting in different stores.
And then it's like I woke up all of a sudden and my insurance has doubled, food has fucking tripled, gas is so expensive, electric bill over double, my fucking rent went up. I can't be the only one that's drowning.
Everybody is going through this bullshit. Everyone. Can't go to Canada. Can't go to the UK. Everyone is dealing with just not being able to sustain life.
I've never had so little money in my entire life. All of my money goes towards my bills and food for me to eat. And half the time, I have to choose between filling my car with gas or eating.
Wish that I could just have a job and do my job and go to work every day and it would just pay for life. It would pay for a roof over my head. It would pay for food on my table. It would pay for medical bills. It would pay enough for me to save money so I could retire one day, basic things.
I am 36 years old and I have nothing to show for 20 plus years of work.
$70,000 a year, not enough? Is a bachelor's degree not enough? Is 2 jobs not enough? And the only thing we hear is, we'll stop Starbucks and stop your brunches and your 3-day vacations. If you get up and take care of your house and take care of your friends and your family and your body and work 50 hours a week plus commuting, don't you think that person deserves a night out or a Sunday?
At what point is it literally just too expensive to live? When do we, because we keep on talking about it. We keep on talking about inflation. And we keep on talking about salaries not meeting it. And we keep on talking about the minimum wage. And we keep on talking about all this stuff. But at what point does that bubble burst? And it literally is just too expensive to be alive, even if you're working a full-time job.
I'm so tired of this corrupt ass world, bro. It is fucked up. And this shit has to end now.
Pay period, we have to pay the house, the car, our insurance, our internet, the NIPSCO, and the trash. Okay, and if we get paid our normal amount, subtract our bills, we are left with negative $300. That sounds great, right? Negative $300. Okay. So what if we don't pay the NIPSCO bill? Nope. That one's already a month past due. It'll get shut off. Pay the NIPSCO for sure. Cell phone. Okay, I can wait a couple weeks on the cell phone, but that's still not going to be enough. I can wait on the trash too. That'll give us $170. Can I make that last for 2 weeks for groceries and gas? The kids are going to need lunch money. And then after you figure out all the bills that you have to skip and put off and realize you're a month behind on all of your bills, you realize all the things you're not going to be able to do for months. And Christmas is coming up, and Halloween, and Thanksgiving. You remember when they told us we should have 6 months worth of living savings? We should have 6 months worth of bills saved up so that if anything happens, you're okay until you get another job. We're like a flat tire away from destruction. I'm never going to get caught up at this point. It's amazing what a couple $1,000s would do for my budget right now. And there's people out there with billions of dollars. A couple thousand would just let me get my head a little bit above. I'm just drowning. It's up to here and I'm lucky to get up and gasp every once in a while. And trying not to show your kids
how hard it is the worst. I never want my kids to feel it or worry. They're 7 and 10. They don't need to know. We're like a missing paycheck a week from not having a house. Kids don't need to know that. They don't need to know that. So when people say they're living paycheck to paycheck, we're living 3 paychecks ahead to 3 paychecks ahead at this point, because the paycheck I'm about to get is gone and then some. I called my mom to ask for some money the other day. $30. I was like, Mom, do you have $30 I can have? No, we don't even have $30. She's like, I was going to ask you for some money. I'm over it. I'm tired of surviving. I want to live a little. Just a little. Without feeling guilty. Oh, you could budget better. You could do this. You could do that. With what? With what?
Hey babes, it's y'all's favorite motherfucking CNA, and y'all know when I come to y'all, I come with some shit. So let's just drop right into it. Anyways, nobody ever likes to talk about how living paycheck to paycheck is a fucking struggle. It's hard as fuck. Why? I don't know, but I'm here to tell you, bitch, it is hard. If you didn't know, it's hard. And if you're not one of them people, then swipe the other way, because I'm talking to my people that's living paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes your motherfucking fridge is looking just like this. Yeah. And sometimes you're getting motherfucking notices in the mail. Talking about disconnect. Yeah. And sometimes your motherfucking account is negative. So bitch, when you think you're the only one out here that's hard, that's having life hard, you're not. And I don't mean to call you a bitch, but that's just how I speak. Y'all let me know down in the comments if you can relate. Cause I want to spread light on people to show you're not the only one.
Some people are living paycheck to paycheck due to bad financial decisions. Others are living paycheck to paycheck due to the economy, the crisis we are all facing. You get 2 jobs, you get 3 jobs, and still it's not supplementing your bills. Things are hard. I don't know what you're going through. Are you also living paycheck to paycheck? Write in the comments below how you're doing and maybe even your plan to get out of the paycheck to paycheck crisis. Maybe your comment will help someone else. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.